home with me.
Yeah. Touch him. That's the closest you can get to them. That's the closest you can get to them.
I guarantee that.
I promise.
Xander,
a true mistake. I never made a
career-long 154 Jaron Ennis in his second fight.
I'm gonna show you.
I guarantee you don't make no mistake.
I ain't gonna miss. I ain't gonna miss. Small, man.
You're small. You small. You're a baby. And I'm gonna show you. Both guys very confident going into this fight.
Hey guys, let's stretch our head, boys.
That way.
A routine face-off turned into a near riot when security had to dive between Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas. The tension reached a breaking point when Zayas looked Ennis in the eyes and dismissed him as nothing more than an ordinary contender.
Fight to the winner. With a champion, I have 2 belts. I'm the only one that has 2 belts in the division. You want these? I don't need to fight you. I could have fought anybody else.
No, you're absolutely right. You ain't had to fight me. You could have fought somebody else. But I'm just saying, if you believe in yourself that much,
I believe in myself.
If the roles was reversed,
Jaron Boots Ennis fired back instantly, demanding to know exactly what Xander brought to the table.
But you're not listening. If you believe in yourself, you would have took the 55-45 straight like that. Yeah. No matter you, I understand you trying to feed your family, you trying to do this, you trying to do that. I'm doing the same thing, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? There's levels, and I'm really gonna show you why I'm like that. And if you really, like I said, if you really believe in yourself, you would have took the 55-45 straight like that.
There's levels, and you're gonna be uncomfortable when it comes to June 27th. Promise.
I fought every style. What do you bring to the table?
All right.
Without missing a beat, Zayas broke down his strategy, identifying the specific weapons that make him a lethal threat to the champion.
And there's a lot of things that I can take advantage of. I got the speed, I got the power, I got the technique, I got the length, I got the strength, I got the IQ. There's a lot of things I can take into consideration when it comes to breaking down the style.
But he also mentions that you get hit a lot.
The same way he does.
To avoid that.
The same way he does. Try to move my head the same way he tried to move his head.
Keep your head on the swivel. Keep your head on the swivel.
You took this fight and showed your confidence. Yeah. Why do you think he put a 55-45 to try to double your confidence?
Because that was the first thing or negotiations they had with Virgil. 55-45 to the winner. But again, me bringing in 2 belts and giving him the opportunity for 2 belts when I didn't need to, I feel like a 50-50 was being generous to him because I could have asked more.
Emotions boiled over as Ennis tore into Xander's technical game, labeling his defense a massive liability that's waiting to be exposed.
Your head is humongous. I'm not gonna miss.
All right.
You tripping.
All right.
Yo, you is tripping.
All right. Make sure you hit it. Make sure you hit it and you get it right. If you don't hit it, Whoa. You took it way too long.
Hold on. Wait. Dog, I heard you say something that I don't move my head, bro. I watched you fight several times. You do not move your noggin, bro. You get hit with clean, flush shots.
What about you?
Bro, it's boxing. We gonna get hit, but you was trying to make it seem
like you just proved my point.
No, but listen, I'm not finished talking. But you try to make it seem like I just get hit all crazy and all. Bet. Watch this. On fight night, make sure you be ready.
Taking the disrespect even further, Boots issued a chilling warning. Zayas is going to be catching clean shots all night long.
Yo, when I tell you these boys be getting hit clean, I'm talking about clean. They live out the ring with hickeys, knots, cuts, bleeding. Bro, you watch any of my fights, bro, if anything, I might got like a little, I don't be having nothing, basically. Right? These guys be leaving out bleeding and all that. Like, come on, bro. It shows to really work on their defense and really don't.
Completely unfazed, Xander didn't flinch at the threats, declaring he is mentally locked in and more than ready for the smoke.
What is your reaction to this?
That's fair. I feel like that's the way he should think. You know, if he didn't think that way, then he wouldn't be a fighter. I feel like it's the same way. I'm gonna rip his heart out. I'm gonna take him to somewhere he's never been. You know, he's gonna feel uncomfortable. He's gonna be uncomfortable when it comes to fight night. It's easy to face guys that you're bigger than them, you're more athletic than them. But when you're facing a guy that is as big as you, that is as athletic as you, that is as composed, as smart as you, it's a whole different story.
The face-off sent shockwaves through the sport, leaving the boxing world buzzing in excitement of the fight. Giving his reaction, Eddie Hearn admitted he was stunned the fight actually became a reality. He didn't just focus on the skill on display, he focused on the sheer audacity it took for Zayas to accept a challenge that most of the division is actively avoiding.
Xander Zayas is a young, incredible fighter. There is no way he will fight Jaron Ennis. And I am actually sitting here still in shock that this fight is made. And I have to give unbelievable credit to Xander Zayas, because you are a great fighter, but you must have a massive set of cojones, because what you're about to take part in June 27th is one of the toughest tasks in boxing.
Furthermore, Hearn went on to describe the matchup as a massive gamble. He hinted that while his own blueprint for a rising star might have looked different, the boldness of this move is exactly what the sport is starving for right now.
Dangerous. I mean, not just dangerous for him, but dangerous for Boots, because this kid, he sees it, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, calling him a kid. He's 23. He's one of the hottest young stars in the sport. I would be keeping him away from Jaron. Like, if I represented Xander Zayas, there is no way I would let him take this fight. I'd be saying, listen, we'll go to MSG, we'll fill that up, we'll do another homecoming fight in Puerto Rico, we'll have Bad Bunny singing you out, we'll milk it, we'll do this, we'll move up to middleweight. We've got years. But this is what boxing needs. Like, this is not me being critical, this is me saying respect.
As the focus shifted, Roy Jones Jr. analyzed how Ennis refused to let a stall in his career slow him down. Jones focused on the specific riddle Zayas presents, suggesting that Boots isn't just taking a fight, he's taking on a style that tests his boxing IQ to the limit.
Boots tested by another fighter beforehand. I wanted to see him fight Virgil Ortiz first, because
at 54.
Yes, because those two guys were kind of on a collision course. However, I think Golden Boy and Virgil Ortiz had some issues, so now Boots went to the next best thing, which is even better than Virgil Ortiz. He went to Xander Zayas, a fighter who I think he probably the second most difficult guy to fight in the weight class, because he's rangy. He can do so many things. He can fight inside, he can fight outside. He's a great body puncher. He's a very, very respected guy, and I think he's very mature for his age. Boots, on the other hand, is looking for that coming out party type fight. So he got to fight somebody at this point. And because he couldn't get A, he went to B. And I like that about Boots, because Boots saying, I want all the smoke.
Responding to the heated buildup, Jaron Ennis stripped away the hype, making it clear that the talk is officially over. For him, the respect comes from the fact that Zayas was willing to step into the fire when others stayed quiet, but that won't change the outcome once the lights are bright.
You have to back that up now. You know what I mean? You know, we mellow. We should lay back, you know, keep on talking, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Keep on building the fight, you know what I mean? But it should be a good fight, as long as it lasts.
Yo, that's one of your favorite lines.
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Now, this is a fight, I know y'all wanted Virgil. I know that was the fight that looked like it was going to happen.
Right.
That was the fight y'all had circled.
Right.
This is your second unification situation, right? Does this mean that much more because it's another division, another chance for you to, like, stake your claim?
Well, I mean, you know, we want to fight whoever, man. I mean, it doesn't make a difference.
Building on that, Derek warned that at this level, any oversight is a disaster. He questioned whether Zayas truly has the tools to make Jaron uncomfortable, dismissing the idea that anyone has found a blueprint to beat his son.
You know what I mean? He's a good fighter, man. You can't take nothing away from him. People talking about this and talking about, but I think he's a good fighter.
Now, with you, I noticed that you don't look past any opponent. You take everybody seriously.
No, you have to, man. You know what I mean? Because anything happens in boxing, man. You know what I mean? You only take one shot, you know what I mean? So you got to be careful, man. You got to be on at all times, man. Cylinders got to be working, man.
What kind of boost can we expect?
I hope he take Boots to another level, because Boots never went to another level yet. You know what I mean? Then you want to see something. You really want to see something. But if he can't take him to another level, you know what I mean, it's going to be like it normally be, you know?
As the analysis continued, boxer Emiliano Vargas suggested that for Zayas to pull this off, he'll need to execute a game plan unlike anything we've seen from him yet. He discussed a high-pressure approach aimed at making the fight more physical, noting that the outcome might depend more on who dictates the pace than on pure technical skill.
Xander is going to have to pull something out of him that he's never pulled out. I think that he's gonna rise to the occasion. I think Boots is a very skilled fighter, fights southpaw, orthodox, can box, can punch, you know, but I haven't really seen him in there with anybody that can really go to the body, you know. So I think maybe if Xander can go to the body and, you know, maybe like a Miguel Cotto type of real tight, real in the pocket, and not let Boots dance around and box and do what he wants to do, then I think Xander has a great shot of beating him, you know. And he's two-time champion.
Yeah.
So I mean, he doesn't really need to take the fight, but he's
doubling down on his stance. Timothy Bradley Jr. weighed in with a firm stance, putting his credibility behind an Ennis victory. He noted that this matchup serves as a significant test for Ennis as the boxing world watches to see how he handles the expectations that come with being the clear frontrunner.
Hopefully not Xander Zayas. I'm telling y'all right now, y'all lose to Xander Zayas, y'all ain't gonna never ever stop hearing me say, boy, y'all better not lose. I'm just telling y'all right now, you better not lose. I'm putting money down on y'all, and I'm gonna show the tag. Y'all better not lose to no Xander Zayas. That's all I'm gonna tell you right now, boy, for real. Cause you ain't gonna never hear the end of me, ever. Hell no. Yeah. So what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is, instead of taking what I'm saying, the criticism that I'm giving you, you should take it, bro, as a...
Continuing his message, Bradley also addressed his critical tone, stating honest feedback is a necessary part of reaching the elite level. He explained that these types of matchups are where fighters either adopt or stall, and that his perspective comes from a desire to see the sport's best truly be pushed.
I just don't critique y'all. I critique Xander Zayas. Why you think Xander Zayas got better? Why you think he got better? I called a lot of his fights. You know? Why you think all these guys are getting better, man? Because I'm not a yes man, pat on the back. Oh, when you do good, I'll pat you on the back. You did damn good. But when you doing good, but you making a lot of mistakes, I'm like, oh, you look, good job, but be careful, man, because I lived this. I lived it. I'm a Hall of Damn Famer. For real.
Predicting the fight, trainer Kenny Ellis broke down the physical factors that seem to favor one side. He pointed to the specific power and intensity that Ennis brings, while acknowledging that Zayas has a unique, unconventional energy that could pose problems if the champion isn't careful.
All right, so tell me, why does Boots win?
I just think Boots got more grit. He coming up from a lower weight class, but I think he's stronger too. You know?
Yeah.
Sharper. Heavier punching. But both guys, you know, I think they both meeting their best opponent yet.
Absolutely. I agree. That being said, what you see, that the speed, the power, the sharpness from Boots, what do you see in Xander that can make it complicated?
Expanding on his opinion, Ellis questioned if this opportunity is arriving a bit early for the younger Zayas. He suggested there may be a gap in professional experience between the two, noting that while the skill sets are comparable, the toolbox of a seasoned champion is hard to replicate.
He's tricky, man. He's tricky with his left hand and his feet. Both of them tricky with their feet, you know. But I think Boots got a bigger bag. You know, he got more in the bag, you know, and I got him stopping Xander inside 10, possibly 8. It could be 10 in the first half of the fight, you know.
Yeah.
Boots, I've seen Boots personally. I know what he can do, you know.
Yeah.
I know what he can do.
So basically, you like Zab. You know, Zab said June 27th. Xander Zayas should not be in the ring with Jaron Ennis.
Speaking of the fight, trainer Greg Hackett viewed the fight as a contrast between raw talent and the reality of the ring. He remarked that despite the outside noise, the fight will likely come down to a test of endurance and focus that isn't always reflected in pre-fight statistics.
I'm expecting a great fight out of both fighters, and the reason I'm expecting a great fight is because there's been a lot of backlash. I feel like on both of them a little bit. Zayas being young, a lot of people feel like he was given the titles. And I mean, of course you can't give them to a guy when he got to fight for him. Sometimes we don't like the opponents, but guess what? He fought for him, and he did his best. He did great. Boots, on the other hand, a lot of people don't like the opponents. They say it's not to his level. But when you're dealing with a talent like that, how could it be? You know what I'm saying? What I love about the fight is Xander is big, young, strong, skillful, and he not afraid. Boots, we know he trying to bring everything to the table, the speed, the power, just the lights. He bringing everything to it. I think it's a great test for Boots because this is a guy who you could say is durable.
On the same point, Hackett also touched on the stakes involved with 2 undefeated records on the line. He observed that the physical size and youth of Zayas could make this a more complicated night for Ennis than many are anticipating.
You can say he's durable because he's never been stopped. I never even seen him go down. You know what I mean? So it's not like we talking about a chump. You know what I mean? He coming to fight. And I think this kid being young will make him dangerous. Him being young, energetic, and then a big guy. He got real good size to him. You know what I mean? Strong guy. And I think that right there enough is going to make it a great fight. You know what I mean? Just because he's going to train. Zayas is going to train like he's never trained before because he knows this is a big fight. This could catapult him in a different way, man. You know?
Definitely. Whoever wins this fight, they're both undefeated. Somebody's has to go. Whoever wins this fight is going to be a star name and probably going into a fight with Sebastian Fundora, right?
Absolutely. That's how I feel. So it's a lot riding.
Sharing his perspective, Richard Torres Jr. provided a personal perspective, citing a long history with Zayas. While he acknowledged the talent Ennis possesses, Torres highlighted the importance of loyalty and the shared background that makes this particular matchup meaningful for those involved.
Man, it's 2 insanely talented fighters. I myself am a Xander fan. I'm through and through since day one. I've known him since the amateurs. I'm gonna rock with Xander. He's my guy. I won't ever go against him, man. So Xander's my guy, and I'm gonna keep with him. But Boots is such a talented fighter. I'm a fan of his as well, and I'm excited for that. I just saw he posted today that he signed the contract. So let's see how it goes, man.
Breaking down the press conference, sports analyst Greg pointed out a noticeable shift in tone, saying both Jaron Ennis and his team were far more outspoken than usual. He came in unusually vocal and confident, openly talking down his opponent and asserting there were levels to the game. Greg admitted the energy stood out to him, saying this version of Boots brought a different intensity that made the fight feel even more exciting.
The first thing that I found to be very interesting was Jaron Ennis' commentary and his comments and his responses, and even Bozy's Ennis responses. They are being way more forward in terms of the way that they talk about fights, the way that they promote fights. This is probably the most boisterous I have ever heard Jaron Boots Ennis. I mean, he was talking trash up and down, telling the boy, you ain't ready. There's levels to this. Why you need a fat camp. All these different aspects that he was saying, and I'm telling you, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about what it is that I'm hearing from Jaron Ennis, and I'm like, boy, I'm excited.
Adding to that, sports analyst Greg shifted focus to the physical matchup, noting how Xander Zayas appeared noticeably bigger than Jaron Ennis during the face-off. He brought up the ongoing talk around weight cuts, suggesting Ennis might be coming down in size, which could play a role on fight night. He explained that this perceived edge may have fueled Zayas' team's confidence, believing the physical difference could tilt things in their favor.
They started, when they sat up there and they faced off, I did not realize he was so much bigger. He's actually bigger than Boots. He's a good size. Like, he's got to be at least an inch taller than Boots. And he's bigger than Boots. And Boots made the comment about you having a fat camp, and he made the comment about coming down from, 154. They coming down from 180, 190 to 154. So that may play a part in this fight, size being the difference. They believe that Jaron Ennis is a weight bully, and maybe that's part of the reason why they took the fight. Maybe they do feel that they can win this fight. I don't know. Well, there has to be some belief that they can win the fight. So, but maybe that's a part of the reason why they believe that they can win the fight. we'll end up seeing.
Addressing the noise, Xander made it clear he isn't listening to the outside world. He's staying focused on his preparation and the long-term goal, trusting his team to have him ready for the biggest moment of his career.
Well, if they don't lose weight, then they got to move up, because that's the whole point of fighting at 154. You got to make a little bit of weight. I'm growing, I'm getting better, I'm getting bigger. We keep controlling it. I have a great nutritionist team that work with me. The ones that work with Terrence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, so they know what they're doing, and I believe in them throughout, my whole career.
So there's no concern?
Not at all. Never. There's never been no concerns.
Xander,
You took this. They brought a lot of history to Puerto Rico in the boxing world in the island. But to be honest, it's all about my legacy. It's about building Xander Zayas and what he's gonna bring to the table every time he steps into the ring.
Now it's finally here. Jaron Ennis and Xander Zayas step into a fight that's been building with real tension. Different styles, same goal, and no room for mistakes once it starts. Everything that's been said leads to one moment, and only one of them walks away on top. So who you got? Drop your prediction in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay locked in for more.